Race number 4 takes us to the Derby. Now, for the Derby trial, I think I was the only person to tip him in the paper in the Come Racing. Nobody was interested in Ashmar. I couldn't see past him. For me, it was a race with only one stayer in it, and Ashmar was the winner, and 6-1, great price. However, moving to this race, there are 2 or 3 what I would class as better quality stayers. I would love to see Ashmar win because I love Fauzi, he's a great bloke. But you've got to look at Long John. One worry there would be, again, we talked about it earlier, the bounce effect. And many times I've heard you mention the stats on that stable. Charlie Appleby, the year before it was Zaruni, that their first time up is good, second time up, shocking. So that would worry me there. I really, really like Doug Watson's chances in this.
Yeah.
He's got a nice horse. He's a proper Grade 1 horse. He's had 4 runs in Grade 1. He's not been at the top 3. So he's a genuinely good Grade 1 horse and will stay. Obviously, he's carrying the penalty for being an older horse, a bit like Long John. And then you go to the 3-year-olds from the different hemisphere, from the Northern Hemisphere. You've got to say Aidan O'Brien pretty much knows how to win this race, and Giovanni Baldini would be most people's pick.
I thought Giovanni Baldini was the winner of this race about 2 months ago. Then the nominations came out, and I thought, well, at least he has a chance. I really like this horse.
Okay.
Really, really like him, Justin. He ran a really good race at the Breeders' Cup, and Ryan Moore moved too soon.
Yeah.
And as I heard someone this week say, if Ryan Moore doesn't move that soon, he doesn't realize how he needs to ride versus the American Speed later in the Breeders' Cup, and he doesn't win on Magician. He needed to be patient. Yeah. He wasn't. Interestingly enough, the horse who went out to set that pace that he caught and finished 3rd in the Breeders' Cup juvenile turf, has come back to win very handsomely at Tampa Bay Downs. So the form was immediately franked there by the horse that was just in behind Giovanni Baldini. Warfront out of an old Trieste mare. I think we see this horse in the Kentucky Derby. I think he's a chance. I backed him in the hundreds.
Well, I think he's a good horse. He's a quality horse. He's a proper horse. As we'd say in the UK, he's a genuine Saturday horse. The other thing for me is still a lot of horses in this race. I mean, everybody was talking about Emirates Flyer before the Saturday race, and I said, he won't stay. And then everybody come up to me afterwards going, well, he was second, he stayed. No, he was in a field completely behind the winner.
Different country code.
And no disrespect to Ashmar, because he's looked like a decent horse, but he was 6 lengths behind a maiden. He didn't stay. He just stayed better than everything else. So for me in this race, there's only 4 or 5 genuine stayers. So you take the rest of the field out, which then, we often talk about having better odds and looking at the odds. I would have to look at Doug Watson's horse, Coupetard, or however you pronounce it. Coupetado. For a place, and there's touches of 20s around for him, which is just way too high.
The Carlos Pellegrini is one of the most prestigious races in South America,
and he
really in the hemisphere. And he was 3rd, beaten a short margin in that race.
Well, he's also won a dirt race over there, hasn't he?
I think so.
I know he's definitely got a Group 1 win.
Talk about being the most confirmed stayer in the race. No doubt, it's Coupetado.
Yeah.
If he gets over the surface, he's going to be in the mix.
They've trained him on the surface twice, and Doug's not a massive fan of Tapeta. I think it's quite well known that if he had a choice, he'd want, the buyback to dirt. But he said he's trained on it twice, and he's travelled both times very nicely on it, which is a big, big plus. Also, we're talking a horse here, 7 runs, never been out the top 3. If you've got 7 runs, never out the top 3, you have to consider it 20-1. It's a proper punt.
Yeah.
Would you take the 6 or 7-1 on offer on Ashmar, or would you go with a horse at 20s that you think could just be slightly better? Saying that, Long John's win over the mile, again, Emirates Flyer was second, was very, very impressive. But I'd have to go for Aidan O'Brien's horse. Giovanni, for me, is the one I'd go with.
Yeah, we're doubling up again.
Okay. So there you go, Giovanni. That's a bit worrying when we agree on 2 of them. And I'm pretty sure we're going to agree on Shay Shay, so...
Here we go. Get time.